Welcome back to Retro Rewire. My name is JJ. This is part 4, the final part of the Oyama Tochigi Surugaya, the end of a saga here. Now, this location was actually pretty awesome. I had a number of pickups here, mainly that Duo R as well as Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the Sega Saturn. Those were the big takeaways from this location. But here we're just taking a look at some PlayStation 4 titles at the very start of the clip. There were a few PlayStation 5 games. And there's a number of these Atelier games. I believe that's how that's pronounced. This is a long-running series, and just at the Tokyo Game Show, they announced the latest entry, which may be out by the time or now. But anyhow, let's have a closer look at this aisle. And what you're gonna see in here is we got PlayStation 4 on this side, we got 360 and Xbox One on this side, and then PS3. Now the thing about PS3. Look at this, Shadows of the Damned. Now this used to be a game that was hovering around 500 yen, and now it's gone up in price to 2,700 yen. But this is a great game. I actually have the North American copy and I highly recommend it. This is one to play during Halloween. Let's see, what else do we have here? Lost Odyssey. Look at this beautiful cover. 600 yen, 4 discs. Look how thick that guy is. That's not bad. And then here we have a small section of Xbox One titles. And honestly, like when I look at this, the one that really catches my attention right away, there's actually 2 of them. We got the Rare Replay for 8,800 yen. And then we have Killer Instinct. I think this is one of the earlier editions, but coming in at 1,050, this is probably like $7. So that's not too bad. Here's another classic. Now this one actually supports full English language. So this is Ninja Gaiden 2, and if you have an Xbox Series X or a One X, that's definitely going to be the way to play this, as it's a rock solid 60 frames per second. That's a masterclass game in action games. And then we have, here's another one. Its predecessor, coming in at 5,000 yen, Ninja Gaiden Black. This is another one that's well regarded in the action genre, which I actually brought mine home, or I brought mine back from the US to Japan so I could play it. And then lastly, look at this full cover. Crazy Taxi 3 High Roller. Now this did get a North American release, but I've never played it, and I don't know, maybe this one could be fun. Coming in at 2,300 yen. Wow. This is the PlayStation 5 game. This is gonna be like from the Persona series, I believe. Or Soul Hackers, 25th anniversary, and it comes with a little action figure of Frost Jack. I believe that's his name. That's kind of cool. All right, y'all, so we're going to continue here with the PlayStation 3 section. Now, that Shadows of the Damned was quite surprising because, as I mentioned, it was a 500 yen game, and it shot up in price there. Not too much, but definitely a lot cheaper before, and perhaps it could be found cheaper at other locations. But we have Silent Hill Downpour, supports 3D as well as the English language option, as does this Biohazard HD remaster. Unfortunately, Lord of Shadows there, Castlevania, is only in Japanese. What else do we have here? Binary Domain. This is a great shooter, third-person shooter. And then we have Hunted with Demon's Forge. Now, Binary Domain does support full English language, although I'm not sure about the Hunted there. Then we have El Shaddai, that has limited English language support. And Lollipop Chainsaw, the premium edition, does have full English, as does Never Dead. Now, Never Dead is one of my little guilty pleasures. And this was a great game, although it does suffer from performance issue. And the humor itself is a little bit raunchy, but there was something about it that kept me interested. I think it was mainly like the character design, which I believe one of Kojima Productions, at least when it was under Konami, one of the main guys there produced that Never Dead game. Then we have Metal Gear Solid, the collection there. And then up top we have a few more Konami games, at least that Zone of the Enders. Then we have that JoJo All-Star Battle limited edition. And then we have a bunch of visual novels up here just kind of hanging out. And then we have the EX edition to White Knight Chronicle. Now this EX edition was actually bundled with White Knight Chronicles 2 in the States. Great RPG series. Then we're going to make our way to this end cap, which has a bunch of loose cards mainly for the Game Boy, but there are a few PC Engine games, as we will see here shortly. We have Wario Land 3. Now Wario Land 3 does have full English language support, which kind of surprised me. And then mainly here we just have the R-Type 1 and 2 Hue cards. And then we'll just kind of segue here into the PlayStation 2. Now their PlayStation 2 section was actually pretty cool. A lot of great stuff here. A lot of great shooters. Like we have this Gun Survivor 2 Biohazard, which I recently picked that one up a few months back actually, and I paid like 270 yen for it. Kind of a quirky game. And then we have Sylphid, Gradius 5, R-Type Final, and then Sengoku Ace and Blade Aces Episode 2. I'm not sure about the quality of this collection. I do have it on the Nintendo Switch, and it appears that some people report that there is some input delay, some input lag, although I'm not really sensitive to that. And for me, it's pretty good. Now the horror selection here for the PlayStation 2 is freaking legendary. We have Silent Hill 3, that supports full English language. Then we have, what is this one? Oh gosh. Fatal Frame, the Fatal Frame series. Drawing a blank there. Now these are also available on the Xbox, although I'm not sure. I don't believe that these do support English language option, although I have not verified that. And then we have the vanilla Silent Hill 2. Look at that amazing cover. And then we have the one that includes the Restless Dream scenario. This one as well, full English language options, and I do like that little tin foily cover, that foily cover. And then part 3, the standard release. Now part 3 actually did include like a little mini sampler soundtrack disc. And then we have a PlayStation 3 game here, Eco and the Wanderer and the Colossus, just kind of mixed in with the PlayStation 2 titles. And then yeah, just a lot of PlayStation 2 games. Look at all these great fighting games. I love my fighting games. But we're gonna take a look at this. What is this? Real Road. I imagine that this is some kind of visual novel, and it's kind of like a minimalistic cover there just caught my attention, as well as some other visual novels. It's kind of amazing how many visual novels were released in Japan for the PlayStation 2. And then we have God Hand for $34.50 by the now defunct Clover Studios. And I hear a lot of great things about this one, and I've known about it since its release, but I just have never gotten around to getting it. And then we have Third Strike and Hyper Street Fighter 2, the Anniversary Collection, which are bundled on one disc in the States, or at least for the North American copy, which I actually prefer it that way. Before I wanted the standalone releases, but now due to space, just put it all on one disc. And then we have Godzilla here. I believe this is the fighting game, and I think this one got like a GameCube release as well. And then we have the Rumblefish, published by Sega. Now this is a fighting game and 6,700 yen. I don't know too much about this one, but it does seem a bit interesting. But it looks like it was developed by Sammy and Dimps. And then we're gonna make our way here to an assortment of handheld games. You know, we have some Wonder Swan titles. The Wonder Swan system, I've known about this thing for years, but I'm not really sure or too familiar with its library, although I would like to pick up the Makaimura game that's available for it. Then we have a Game Gear game here. Looks like some kind of card game. Kind of interesting artwork there. And then we have Puyo Puyo for 1,700. And the condition of these boxes are pretty good, considering that they're just like flimsy paper, cardboard type of boxes. And what else do we have here? Vertical Force by Hudson Soft for the Virtual Boy. I would really love to play this game, and I could have sworn I've seen this Vertical Force for the PC Engine or another system, but you know, I tried to look it up, and maybe I was just making it up in my head, but I'm pretty sure it's also available for something else. We had a Neo Geo Pocket game there, and then we have this early Sega, what is SE1000, something like that, SG1000. But anyhow, let's go ahead and make our way into the PC Engine, and we'll also show off a couple Sega CD and Neo Geo CD titles. We have Kadash, Ninja Warriors, all these great covers, Legendary Axe. Legendary Axe, I believe the one that came before it was Astian Axe on for the arcade, which is also available as part of the arcade archives. Then we have Gradius, however you say that, and all sorts of cool PC Engine titles. Now here we have what is this? This is one of my favorite games. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank here, but Gunma, Tonma, something like that. I forget the name, dang it. I'll have to put that down below. But that's actually a great game by Namco. Then we have Pac-Land here for 2,500 yen. And another Hudson Soft. Now, Hudson Soft, man, they really impressive their body of work that they produced and things that they were involved with, you know, heavily with Nintendo. I believe they even were behind like the Mario Party games. And a few others, but yeah, really impressive their output. It's unfortunate that they're no longer around. Fantasy Zone by Sega there, but reprogrammed by someone else. I'm not sure what this is. And what do we have? The Manhole. I have no idea what this is, but by Activision, 1989. I'm kind of curious about that one. And then we have Crest of the Wolf. This was known as Riot Zone in the States, and I remember seeing this early on in one of the, I think it was EGM, and I always wanted to try it. It's kind of like a poor man's Streets of Rage, but if you like your beat 'em ups. And another Hudson Soft game. PC Engine has so many crazy titles. Then we have Legend of Valkyrie for 4,000, and then this Razamber 2. Now, I'm not sure if this game is any good. It's a shooter, but the art direction and just everything about it seems very impressive. But how it plays, I have no idea. And it's by Data West. I wonder if they're affiliated with Data East. And what do we have here? We have Spriggan Mark II coming in at 8,800 yen. I hear the first one is a lot better than the second, but I have not played either of them. But by the looks of that looks like it would be pretty cool, pretty fun to play. One day. What else do we have here? Zedia, Far East of Eden. That's what we saw in the previous episode in the retro display case for the 360, which for the 360, it's freaking expensive. Then we have some Sega CD titles. Mega CD. This is a system that it's either going to be a Neo Geo AES or this. That's the next acquisition, at least for my collection. We have Road Blaster, which I believe this was like what? Road Avenger, I think, in the States. And Sonic CD is actually a pretty pricey game. Freaking love that cover though. I love how they kept that same aesthetic for all the Sonic releases in Japan. I have this for the PlayStation 3, but I'd rather have it for the Sega CD. What else do we got here? A lot of great shooters for this system. And look at this, another copy of Sonic CD for 5,400. We have Heavy Nova for 1,000 yen. Not too sure about this one. And then Devastator for 9,200 yen. Now this was actually my first time seeing this game, and I was just kind of blown away by like the screenshots there. This is definitely one that I would like to pick up. It looks pretty cool. With the camera focus there, yep. Look at that. That game might be parallax heavy, which that's something we all like to see. We got Sylphid there for 3,100 yen. And Record of Lotus War for 3,000 yen. Man, the Sega CD had quite a few awesome games. And Wolfchild for 4,800. And you know, like kind of the more that I go out in these shops, the more I'm starting to realize like I feel like the Sega CD was and Sega in general was just kind of competing with the NEC and their PC Engine for battling for the second spot. And the Mega CD was just as a result of the ROM for the PC Engine, just kind of response to that. Look at this, another cool looking game. A lot of cool games on the Sega CD. I feel the Sega CD is going to be skyrocketing in price soon. Who knows? And then Neo Geo CD titles. Not very many, but there are a few that I would like to play. Then we got the Far East of Eden fighting game down there for 7,800. Dunk Dream, The Art of Fighting 2 with its big old sprites. I should have picked that up for 1,700 yen. I still don't have that. And then Mutation Nation. This is on the Neo Geo Mini. But anyhow, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for this Oyama Surugaya saga. Now, in the next episode, we're going to be heading to another part of Japan, and we're going to start with none other than Super Nintendo World. I headed out there. It was a great time. I'm looking forward to sharing that video, so definitely subscribe, hit the bell, you know, all that good stuff to keep up to date with the latest video releases. Anyhow, my name is JJ. Thank you for checking out Retro Rewire, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Ciao.